Yo, what is going on, everybody? Back again with the analysis is whatever. But the point of this is I'm gonna be showing a fucking disgusting split here that you can do with your trio. I can do this for cash cups, for anything. It's especially good for lobbies that are stacked, so scrims, ladders, finals, whatever you're doing. And the reason why I like this is because there's just so many options you can do that it's pretty much like guaranteed for loot and everything like that. So let's say you're uncon. So the idea is that the main part you are landing is castle right here, or Fort Crumpet you can call it, and it does have a bunker chest back here. So let's turn that on. We have all of this is really available for castle. So you get two here, one here. You guys loot that up and you dip. Again, this isn't really enough loot for. I mean, it is a fair amount of loot. 7 chests, 10. That's 11 chests. That's more than like some other splits that people have. But there isn't really, of all these spawn, everything like that. So really what I like to do is that everyone has kind of a like a purpose to look for. So let's say we have see this over. Hello. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So let's say we have number 1 on your team, number 2, number 3. The number 1 is flying directly to castle. He's landing there 100% of the time. So the only thing he would watch out for is if anyone is landing sweaty. So his goal is to look at sweaty when he's dropping in and to comment if anyone's landing here. The number 2, always he's aiming for castle, but he's aiming from this angle here. So his goal is to be on the far right of wherever the bus is coming from, and he should check if anyone's going coral or shark. Okay, and then if he can see, especially if there's a bus pulls like this way, then he can also check stealthy. But his main two are coral slash shark is what he has to look out for. And then number 3 covers this far half below sweaty. His purpose is to see if anyone's going John Wick, Slurp, because they land on the Slurp truck and then rotate in, or H house. Let's rate H. So he watches out for where's Slurp truck at? For these ones, and then number 2 checks for sweaty, and this guy checks for coral and shark. This way, depending on, let's say you're dropping in and no one's landing shark or coral. Okay, so we send 1 to castle. He loots all of this. We send 2 and 3 over here. They loot coral and shark. Meet up. They both meet up over here. The farm up metal and rotate into zone. Look at all the chests you fucking get. I mean, here, now I'll erase this now. But if that happens, we have, we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. But there are 10 slurp barrels here, so these guys can land together, loot this, take the porta potty over for the vault, and then hit this. Now the biggest downside to this, let's go back to black, is that if it's actually contested and you guys just didn't see the team, that's like very bad. Because if you take this porta potty in and they're in the vault, then you're fucked. Or if you're looting all this and they porta potty over, expecting this to be unconned, and you guys get 3-2-1, or they sneak up on you guys like this, that's bad. So if you're going to do this, you're gonna have to make sure shark is not contested, or you can throw one of your games. But let's say another thing you could do, that if you're landing and you see no one like anywhere, not even landing castle, all 3 could land here, get full shield from the slurp barrels, and either loot all of coral or loot over here. So that's why it's important to know this whole entire side of the map. So let's turn on some more stuff like let's do mechanical parts, cars, trucks, and boats. So as you can see, just on this part of the map, because this is kind of included on this split, if no one lands coral slash shark, that we have a fuck ton of boats to farm mechanical parts from. These are all available. I mean, you should be able to get good mechanical parts for everybody just from the boats. So it is not actually true that this side of the map doesn't have mechanical parts. There are mechanical parts. You just have to farm them on boats. That's the difference from everywhere else. Now, let's say that coral and shark are contested, so that this means you're not landing up here, but John Wick isn't. So you So if you look over here and your guy calls out, hey, John Wick isn't contested, let's land there. So what you would do, send all 3 to the slurp truck, get full shield, 1 person goes to castle, then 1 goes to John Wick, and 1 goes to H house. This guy doesn't go any farther than here, because there could be a team doing Holly and Rainbow Rental, and they might want to come. Get the bounty ASAP, just to see if anyone's nearby. And, you know, if the bounty shows a team in Rainbow Rentals, then you might want to loot all this as quick as possible, go back with your team. So if you own all of this, let's just look at what you own. Turn on everything. Here's cars, trucks, boats, mechanical parts, slurp truck. So this is the split here. If you guys found that John Wick was unconned. We have a fuck ton of mechanical parts here. We have, you know, cars and trucks along the way to get mechanical parts. 100% spawn, 2 bunker chests. How many chests do we have? 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 23, 24 chests in this area. That's a fuck ton of chests. That's a really good split. I mean, there's decent metal over here. You can farm up metal back here. You can farm up, there's cat metal over here at the little stick man. So that's if John Wick is unconned. Now, let's say Sweaty is unconned. Now, this does happen. This has happened to me in FNCS. This has happened in Trio Cash Cups and Scrims and whatever. And it's because, like, these hot POIs sometimes tend to be unconned because players are afraid of them. So they want to practice, you know, their split, or they want to, in Scrims, they want to do, like, their castle split or whatever. So when they're dropping in like this, you'd be like, oh, Sweaty's unconned. So you just simply loop all 3, go Sweaty. Have a plan for how you want to loot it. You know, whatever, somebody lands main, somebody lands gas station, someone lands bunker, this guy loots all this guy loots here, and they meet up. They go hit dock together, they loot everything, and then dip. So if Sweaty's unconned, all 3 land there. If it's in zone, you can either rotate back. If you didn't see anyone going castle, you could send somebody either early to go hit the bunker chest back here and to work his way down. Then you guys all meet up at John Wick and upgrade 2 purple pumps and scars and all that fun stuff. You can get the next zone from the guy over here on the beach, or Raven. Pretty sure she sells where's the house at? This is it. Pretty sure she sells the fucking storm as well. But let's say you're conned at castle. So if you remember 1, 2, 3 conned by, if you're conned at castle and this team's 100% coming, you all 3 land here. That's the goal. You win castle. But when you're dropping in, you remember the callouts. So you were dropping in and you remember that up here is unconned. So after you win castle, you rotate up instead of down. Okay, let's say it was flipped. John Wick's unconned. You rotate over here. Now, if you're dropping in and, you know, there's another team contesting you and Sweaty's unconned, just bail out. There's no point to take the 50-50 if you have all this entire POI to yourself. The whole point of this split, and the reason why I think it's so good, is because there's options. Okay, everyone is doing something. Everyone's looking out for a certain area. So it's never just castle, because just castle is like not enough loot in my opinion. And there's not enough mechanical parts and just everything like that. So that's why everyone has to keep their eyes open where people are dropping in and keep their awareness up. Find like the good, like where you guys can rotate to right after. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This is just going over, you know, crazy, probably one of the best splits in the game, in my opinion, other than like, I guess Camp God would be more of an unnamed location than a split. I think next video I'll be doing either Colossal, Sweaty, or Holly Hedges. Not sure which one. Or maybe the Logjam Basement split's also pretty good. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna probably slow down a little bit more on the analyses, as you guys can probably see, because I'm gonna focus more on some tips and tricks because FNCS is over. But once the next big tournament is announced, or if it is, I'll check probably after this. Then I'll do that. Anyway, cheers.